how are you doing today? Oh, I'm living the dream. How many times have you heard that statement dripping with sarcasm where you work or among your friends or the people you hang out with? Today, we're going to talk about how that doesn't have to be a sarcastic statement. You can be living the dream in your life, living your dream life, any intention you set, you can have when you learn to apply these 3 action steps to your life. If you do these 3 things on a consistent basis for the next month, you are going to start living the dream. And we're going to talk about exactly how to do that. How do we move from this being sarcasm to living the dream being reality in our life? 3 simple action steps that you can take to begin to live your dream life. The first step is you need to understand what you want out of your life before you can make room for what you want in your life. A lot of times we start with the dream itself. We say, I want this. I wish I had that. If I could only. And we have all these if, wish, hope on a star, dream on a star wishes almost in our life, when the truth is we're missing a key component. You are never going to find your dream life until you first of all take this action, and it is to find your don't want in life. What is it that you do not want in your life? What is it in your life right now that you wish you could change? Over the last year, I've been developing and remolding my mind and reprogramming my subconscious. And one of the things that has risen to the surface for me, what I have figured out that I do not want, is I do not want to be held back from a life of freedom. I've looked at finances and I've looked at passion and I've looked at dreams and why I'm here and all these things, but it all comes back to I do not want to be subject to someone else dictating the life I'm going to live. I don't want somebody else telling me, here's the time you're going to give me if you want to make money. Here is the investment I want you to make. Here is your command list for the day. I've come to realize my don't want list all has to do with freedom, a robbing of my freedom. If you had to narrow it down today, tell me in the comments right now, what is it that you do not want in your life? Sometimes this is an easier thing to figure out than what we do want, what our dream life really is. You know what makes you uncomfortable in your life today. Maybe like me, it is a lack of freedom. You feel trapped or you feel pinned into your job or into a relationship. Or maybe you don't want chronic health issues. Maybe you're going through a lot of pain in your body or a lot of suffering or dis-ease, which is disease, and you don't want that anymore. A big part of getting on to your dream life is you need to figure out what you really don't want out of life and how to eliminate that from your life. Because what happens is when we figure out what we don't want, suddenly we begin to see kind of the yin and the yang of what we really do want. So we're going to spend most of our time today on these final 2 action steps that's going to really kick your dreams into overdrive. Once you find out what you don't want, hey guys, right now is a great time to subscribe below if you haven't. I share this content all the time and I genuinely, passionately want to help you change your life by reprogramming your brain, your mind, thinking new thoughts, feeling new feelings, and changing your life. You can do it. I believe in you. Subscribe now. Once you find out what you don't want, the second step is to begin to focus all of your energy, all of your attention on what you do want. How do we refocus our energy? Because where our attention goes, that's where our energy flows. If you want to have a new life, you've got to get your energy flowing in the right direction. And to do that, you've got your attention and you've got to get your attention on the right things, on the things that you truly want. I know for me, what I discovered about a year ago, and it's taken me this long to build this practice into my life, is that I want a life of freedom. That's what it comes down to. I don't want to be told what to do, when to do it, how to do it. What I do want is a life of freedom, of time, a freedom of finances, a freedom to travel, a freedom to spend time anytime I want to, doing the things I love with the people I love. I want freedom. Tell me in the comments also, what is it that you feel like you do want in your life. It's probably going to be the opposite of the thing you don't want in your life. But what is the do want that you have in your life right now? And I want to get into a little bit of why we don't experience most of the time what we really do want in our lives. Dr. Joe Dispenza says this about how we live our lives most of the time. He says about the age of 30 to 35, you have programmed your subconscious, and it does about 95% of your thinking and acting for you. You're in this repetitive loop of mind, of thinking, and body of emotions and feeling. Think of your mind as the thought center and your body as the emotion center, and your mind and your body work together through your subconscious to keep you doing your day over and over and over again. You have about 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day, and about 90% of those thoughts are running on repeat, and we're living the same lives over and over and over. We are in this mind-body cycle. If this is your mind and this down here is your body, your mind and your body get caught in this cycle where the mind tells the body, this is how you want to think, this is how you want to feel, this is how you want to be. And your body responds and said, yep, that's right. That's how I think. That's how I feel. That's how I want to be. And it reinforces it with your mind. And you just stay caught in this cyclical loop of thinking the same way, feeling the same way, thinking the same way, feeling the same way. And until you flip the switch and say, I'm ready to escape that kind of life, you can't escape it. You're going to be stuck here. And the key is not just positive thinking. Some people think, well, if I just learn to think positive, I'll change it all. That's part of it, but that is not all of it. If you want to create a new personal reality, you've got to create a new personality. Can you do that? Of course you can do that. It starts with thinking. It starts with beginning to think new thoughts through practices like affirmations, positive affirmations every day, looking in the mirror and telling yourself the new self you are now. Not that you want to be, but that you are. Keep reminding yourself, this is who I am. I am statements are very powerful. And it starts with that thinking, but it also involves feeling. You've got to attach an emotion of joy, of satisfaction, of gratitude, of peace, of love, a higher emotion to your new way of thinking. And when you do that, you start feeling different, and your body starts telling your mind, hey, we're feeling different. We're feeling a new feeling here. It's starting to feel good. Life is starting to feel like it should feel to us. And guess what your mind does? Goes back into this cycle and says, yes, you're feeling good. No. First of all, it fights, because 30 years or however long you've been doing it. In my case, I did it for almost 55 years. I just kept thinking the same way. And if I would try to change it with positive thoughts, my body would come back and say, oh, this feels good. And then my mind would block it and say, no, that's not right. You're supposed to feel like this, Jim. And it would send this message back, and I would get caught back in this same loop. Now, here's one of the things that really began to change it all for me. When I heard Bob Proctor talking about Think and Grow Rich and how that book changed his life, and he said, what you need is an intention statement. I wrote out an intention statement for my life, and I began to repeat it. I put it on the background of my phone. I put it on paper and laminated it, put it in my desk, put it beside my place. I sit on our couch at home, and I began to ingrain this statement for a year into my mind. And now I have mine committed to memory, and it is part of me, and I still say it all the time. I still see it on my phone. I've narrowed it down to where it's a little shorter, and I just kind of know the gist of it, and I can grab it. But here's what you need in an intention statement if you want to start focusing daily on what you do want in your life. If you want to start making that your reality and reprogramming your subconscious, you need an intention statement. Here's what an intention statement is. Mine is short and sweet and simple, and so can yours be. Number one, it needs to be a present tense statement. It needs to be in the present. And what I mean by that, it needs to be said as if it is already your reality. You don't want an intention statement that says, I wish I had $1 million. You don't want an intention statement that says one day I will have $1 million. No, because what you create is an energetic signal going out into the universe, into the field that says, I want, I want, I want. And guess what's going to come back? More want. You're going to always want that thing you're putting out there. You need an I am statement, an I am powerful statement that says, I am a millionaire, if that's what you want to be. Whatever your thing is, you put it out there in the universe as an I am statement. It needs to be present tense. The second thing is it needs to be emotionally powerful. When we become emotionally powerful, we attach something to our thought from our body, and it's a new feeling. It's a new way about feeling that life. Now, here's the key. If your thing is present tense, I am a millionaire, and you attach a powerful emotion to it, think about how you would feel if you were suddenly a millionaire. If you became a millionaire overnight, if you won the lottery or something magical happened, remember the how is not up to you. The how is up to source, to God. It's just for you to set the intention of what you truly do want. Focus on that. Once you find out what you don't want in life, and if it's to be a millionaire, like our example, make it present tense. I am a millionaire. And then what would it feel like? What's the powerful emotion? Would you be grateful? I know I would. I'd be grateful. Thank you, Source. Thank you, God. I'm finally there. Would you carry yourself differently than you do now? Would your attitude be different? Would you hold your head a little higher? Would you live a little stronger? I believe you would. Picture yourself living those emotions. Make your intention statement present tense. Make it attached to a powerful emotion. And for me, I think one of the biggest things you can do is fill your intention statement with gratitude. When you fill your intention statement with gratitude, that is one of the most powerful emotions you can feel. Now, here's kind of how I did that in mine. You do yours however you want to do it. I wrote a statement, and I'll just share mine with you. And mine is this. It says, I am so happy and grateful now. I have an abundance of freedom, of time, and money to spend with the people I love, on the things I love, and I share this abundance with others. Because that captures everything that I'm about at my heart level and everything that I want to become a reality in my life. And I'm seeing it become a reality in my life. And listen to my statement. Plug your own words in there. I am. What does that mean? That means it's present tense. I am doing this now. It's got gratitude in it. I am so happy and grateful now, in the present moment, that I have these things. Gratitude is an emotion we don't feel until after the fact. So when we attach it, it tells our subconscious, this is reality. It's already happened. So I am so happy and grateful now. I have present tense, and here comes the powerful emotions attached to it. I have an abundance of freedom, time, and money to spend with the people I love on the things I love. There's love in there. There's gratitude in there. There's my core value. Family is one of my most important things. I want to spend time with my daughter's girlfriend, my other daughter's husband. I want to spend time with family. My wife and I travel the world. It is all in there. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have an abundance of these things, of freedom of time, of finances to do these things. And for me, I believe my mission in life, the reason I'm on this planet, is to do three things. I want to help you to become more peaceful. I want to help you to plug into your purpose, and I want you to become more prosperous. That's what I'm on the planet to do, to help people do that. So I want to share my abundance with you, with others. As this comes into my life, I just want to pour it out to other people. So one of the things, I love a statement. I came out of the church world years ago and was a pastor for 30 years and did all that. And one of the statements that I used to hear that I did hang on to, that I loved, was a lot of people climb the ladder of success only to find that it's leaning against the wrong building. And I think that's why you see so many celebrities and athletes and people who get all this money and fame overnight, and then suddenly they're not happy at all, because they got what they manifested. They got what they dreamed, but they had the wrong dream. It's more than money. It's more than fortune. It's helping others. It's investing. It's changing our planet, changing people, loving one another. When that's attached to your dreams, look out, because you're going to get a dream life that just keeps giving back to you, because you're going to keep giving it out to others. But you need an intention statement, and it is the key to focusing on what you do want out of life. Find out what you don't want. Focus daily on what you do want. Get that intention statement and say it over and over. So the third action step is simple. It is to forge ahead. Forge ahead into a brand new life. Now, this is the part that often, if I'm like you and you're like me, I have questions about. How do I do this? How do I make it practical? Yeah, Jim, it's great to figure out what I don't want. It's great to focus on what I do want and have this statement that I put into my life and I memorize, but just putting that in, that's just thinking, right? And remember, thinking alone, positive thinking won't do it. It's attaching these feelings. And how do we attach the feelings in our day-to-day life? When we go to work and things get tough, or we're in relationships where there's maybe quarrelsome things going on, or you're under physical illness, you have disease in your life. What about those moments? How do I forge ahead every day in this new life and keep the feelings up and the thoughts up and really change and reprogram my subconscious? How do we do it? Here's how it works. First of all, when you start thinking new thoughts, guess what happens? Thoughts in your life quickly become things. So as you start thinking new thoughts, how about an S on there? Those thoughts are going to start to become things. The iPhone that I'm filming this with once was just a thought in someone's head, and it became a thing, and then it became a bunch of things, and now we all use them probably more than any singular device we use on the planet. And it used to just be a thought in somebody's head. All things start with a thought. When you start changing these thoughts, that's step one. You're getting in the flow. Your thoughts are going to eventually become things. And here's how they do it. Number one, when you start thinking new thoughts, you're going to start having new feelings. You're getting out of this loop. You're breaking the cycle. You're going to feel differently. You're going to start to have elevated emotions. And this is where the power starts to come in. Now, don't forget, it takes time, because when these new emotions go up to the brain and they say, hey, we're feeling a different way, the brain's going to try to block that. And that's why you have to focus on your do want. That's why the intention statement is important. Day by day, practicing these new ways of thinking, these new ways of feeling. When you start feeling down, let that go. Let it pass like a cloud in the sky. Focus on the good feelings that you're having. And when you start to do that, you're going to get in a new cycle pretty soon. You're going to break this block the brain's trying to put in here. You're going to bust through, and you're going to start feeling and thinking in a new way. And pretty soon you gain momentum. And guess what happens with your feelings? Pretty soon your feelings start to birth new behaviors. You start to have new behaviors. You start to act in different ways. You start to see new opportunities pop up in your life. New people come into the picture that say, hey, you would be good for this. Hey, have you ever considered this? All kinds of opportunities will begin to explode because you're sending out a new signal to the universe. Your behaviors are changing. And behaviors done over and over, guess what they become? They become beliefs. When we live in a behavior over and over and over, and we keep repeating it, pretty soon it becomes a belief. And when we start believing differently about who we are and what we can do and who we've become, we're getting into the I am of our actual mission statement in life, our intention statement. We're not just saying that, we're starting to believe it. It's who we are, it's who we're becoming. And then what happens? Our actions change. We take new actions. We move in new directions. We take new steps. We change it all because our thoughts start turning into new feelings, and our feelings start turning into behavior step by steps. Our behaviors build new beliefs in our life, and those beliefs lead to new actions. And guess what? When we take new actions, our thoughts have become things. They've taken on a new shape. You're living a new life. You're forging ahead. Are you living the dream today? Let me tell you what, you absolutely can be. And it all starts with thinking a new thought, feeling a new feeling, and soon you're believing a new belief. You can do this.